They say if you're not the problem, you're the solution, and I wasn't the problem. So,
You weren't the problem? What do you
facto
mean?
solution. I wasn't the problem with the technology. And if you're not the problem, you're the solution, which means I was the solution.
I see. Well, could you perhaps be neither?
How can you be, if you're not anything, then you're nothing. And if you're nothing, then what is anything?
It's a good point. But I feel like you don't always have to be the solution if you're not the problem. You could just be there, just witnessing the situation, right?
Then you're the problem. Because if you're not the solution, you're the problem. If you're not the problem, you're the solution. And if you're not the problem or the solution, you're the problem.
Okay, all right. Let's just say, for
Problem
example,
stronger.
let's say, for example, you are out in public and you witnessed, let's say, a mass shooting. Like someone just showed up in Surfers Paradise, started shooting the place up with an automatic rifle. In that situation, if you do not go and stop the gunman, are you the problem?
Yes. You might you might as well you might as well be there reloading for him, dude.
Okay, that's a hot take. Explain that to me.
If you don't do anything, you're a cunt.
But what if you're trying to protect your child, right? Maybe they're with your children. That's your first priority. You're going to try and get them out of that situation.
Well, let's save that for the hypothetical, because I've got a couple hypotheticals I've written down if I can find them.
Oh, that's exciting.
We've got no mic.
No mic.
And it's magic round. And we've got no queef. We're queefless. We're micless. It's not very fucking magical, I'll be honest.
Yeah, it doesn't feel that magical. I agree. I've decided to wear this shirt. I don't know why it feels magical to me, but yeah, you're right. It's there's something a little bit lacking. Maybe we're going to elevate it, you and I.
Yeah. Well, we don't anyway. Listen, between you and me, Harry's been pretty lackluster anyway in his role as Queef.
Wow. I thought he did a fantastic job. The games that he brought for us last year.
Yeah, fair enough. We have different standards and criteria, dude.
Yeah, I remember we were playing some Dungeons and Dragons themed questions last year, and you weren't happy about them.
Wasn't happy, and probably neither was 90% of the 60 people that watched it, which is I don't know, probably 50 something or 4. I don't know. I'm not good at numbers, but somewhere around that.
I don't know. I think there's a significant overlap between rugby league supporters and Dungeons and Dragons. That's just unless I'm in the small minority, but that would make any sense.
If I had to draw a Venn diagram, the circles wouldn't even be on the same fucking piece of paper, dude.
Well, I mean, I'm in that Venn diagram, Mike and I.
Whatever slither
it's small.
exists.
Yeah, it's small.
Those two circles, I don't even think they penetrate each other. If those two circles, if one of those two circles was getting the other one in for like sexual assault, say, it'd be no, that circle didn't touch you. And it'd be oh, it was just the tip. You like that I did that?
That's boom.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Should we welcome these cunts?
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Just the Tip. I am your host today, Matt, and I'm joined by usually Ben. Ben, how you doing?
Good. I have to be the chaos and, well, I'm not the host. You've got a double job. You're the host and the expert.
Yeah,
I have to be chaos. And what does Mike bring that's not host? Well, what's his other stat?
Probably unfound hate towards particular players. He'll just randomly say a player is bad, or that's usually what he brings.
I'll pretend to know nothing about rugby league. How about that?
He brings the negativity, is what he brings, actually.
You're right. That cunt has a lot of hate in his heart. Poor guy.
Yeah, it just flows
Shout
out
out
of
to
him.
Mike. Shout out to Mike, who could be here and isn't here purely by choice.
Well, he's actually attending a funeral. So
Right now, as we speak, is he at a funeral right now?
I don't know. Perhaps he's at a wake or a post-funeral event. No excuses.
There's nothing you can do to comfort family more than peeling off to a separate room and Skyping with your friends.
Well, I'm happy that he's not here because like
I'm a grief
gives
expert.
it gives you and I, Ben, a little one-on-one time, a little bit of romantic intimacy that I feel like we
So
lack.
Yourself and Mike have obviously done them together. Me and who's the other guy? Mike have done them together. But have Matt, your name's Matt, right?
Yeah, correct.
Has Matt and Ben done one together?
We have. It was either, I think it was late last year.
Was it good? Was it a fizzle? How did we go?
I thought we did great. I remember leaving the episode thinking, I don't think we'd even need Mike.
Every time we really don't need 3. It's better with 3. I think 3 is the optimum number for a potty.
Yes. Yeah, we need the balance. But I tell you what, though, I do note that since I've joined this podcast in episode 2, when you guys invited me on originally as just a guest, I've not missed a single episode.
Yeah, you did. You missed 1.
Nope. Otherwise, how would it have been edited?
Did one.
Yeah, obviously episode 1.
No, me and Mike did one when you were on the cruise.
No, we recorded before I left, I believe.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Anyways, have an unbroken attendance.
I believe so. I think if you look through all the thumbnails, you'll find me in every single one. I tell you what, let's quickly go because we got a lot to go through. It's Magic Round episode. Let's go over last week's results real quick.
Before we go into it, would you be open to? I love your shirt, but what I would like more of your shirt instead of skulls is all the thumbnails of our episodes on a shirt.
That would be genius. I'd love that. Just the cutouts of our faces.
If I make it, what size are you?
Medium.
Gotcha.
Yeah. All right, yeah, absolutely. I'll wear that shit. Okay, so last week, game 1 was a bit of a decider, a bit of a flip of the coin, if you will. It was tight. The Dolphins ended up winning. You tipped that correctly. I was on the Sea Eagles. Mike was on the Dolphins as well.
You bear witness to my my swings in the week, at the weekend.
Yes.
I went from equal first to down by 2. Behind the leader by 2. I was slipped into 5th or something, and then caught up to again to equal back first again. It's been so emotionally stressful.
Yeah, you were swinging. Game 2, everyone had the Panthers. They ended up beating the Bulldogs, but only just. Third game, most of us had the Broncos. You had the Parramatta Eels, which I remember last week. You tipped them. You said Eels, no explanation.
Yeah, and there was a stage where we believed that Eels were going to win, right?
No, Mike and I never said that.
You never thought the Eels had that. There was a moment where you could be like, oh, Eels, there we go.
Well, I mean, there's a moment I would say in every sort of NRL game, usually where you might say, "Oh, this team's playing well right now."
That's so wild because I think that we just do things to justify our own tips. I'm like, yeah, they should have won.
Yeah,
I'm looking for every reason to why they should have won, and you're looking for every reason as to why Brisbane were going to win and did win.
Mm-hmm. That's right. At game 4, most of us had the Knights there. You tipped the Tigers as well. That was another incorrect tip. But yeah, they're lacking a few players there. Dragons won the 5th game against the Rabbitohs.
I was so stupid. The size difference between the Knights and the Tigers, just the physical size of the team.
I didn't notice the size difference, but I'll have to have a look at the Tigers next time they play. They're missing a few forwards this week. We'll get to that. The Sharks ended up beating the Storm. I would imagine that a lot of people had more tipped the Sharks, and then Nico Hines was pulled out. And a lot of people, including myself and Mike, we flipped to the Storm, and the Sharks still won. So kudos to them, beating a big team without their best player.
Your boy actually stuck true, and I don't think I knew that Hines thing until like halfway through the first half because I was late to start the game.
Yeah, that's 100%. I was thinking about that while after that game finished. I said Ben is a winner of his own ignorance here, because I know you don't check the teams before the game happens.
I'm glad. Yeah, but it can go both ways, and I'm watching so much more rugby league now. I'm paying for that watchnrl.com, and it's 44 Aussie bucks a month, which is fucking XE. Yeah. And I'm like, it's so expensive that I'm watching games that I wouldn't normally watch just to get value out of it.
Oh yeah, for sure. You watch all of them, right? Yeah, even you should watch the women's Origin game 1 on Thursday night. That'll be a good one. Get your money's worth. Game 7, the Roosters got another big win over, can't remember who. Oh, the Warriors. Beat the Warriors. And then Game 8, the Titans' famous victory with 0 players on the bench by the end, holding on against the Cowboys. I think we all correctly tipped, all 3 of us tipped the Titans, so go Titans. All right, I got a little bit of NRL news. You want to talk about some news?
Is it the casualty ward?
Well, listen, there are a lot of injuries, yes, and a lot of injuries.
Can we go through the casualty ward real quick?
The whole thing would take way too long. But
just say team name position. Boom, boom, boom.
Well, no, honestly
team name position injury.
I looked at the list. I checked for fantasy reasons, and honestly, the list is too long. Nathan Cleary obviously is the big one. He's going to miss the entire Origin series. Done his hamstring. Also, Tom Trbojevic also out for several weeks, also with a hamstring injury. I think the NRL physio said some stat that we're already almost equaling the number of hamstring injuries. We're not even halfway through the season, and last year we're almost to the total number of hamstring injuries suffered last year. So huge increase.
I heard the word hamstring so many times on the weekend, and it got me thinking, this is so stupid. Have you tried pork floss?
What is pork floss?
It's like, it looks like fairy floss, but it's made of pork. It's very common.
No, very common. I've never heard of this in my life.
Let us know in the comments if you've heard of pork floss, and if there's a very stupid and weak connection to hamstring pork floss. Follow me?
Yeah, as in like it's easy to, it falls apart. Is that what you're saying?
No, as in like the words, as in like ham, pork, and string floss.
This is good stuff.
I just keep thinking of like strings of ham when I keep hearing hamstring this weekend.
That's good stuff. That's good stuff. Let's get some comments on that. I mean, lots of injuries.
Hamstring is an episode title right there, mate.
Lots of injuries. Sean Johnson is done a pec. You got John Bateman is going to be out for several weeks as well with his own issue. The Titans, as I've said earlier, had 4 injuries in that game. We'll get to them more later, but huge injuries, and obviously big news for the New South Wales Origin team. Not going to have Turbo, not going to have Cleary. That's the big one. Now, Ben, you famously hate State of Origin. You care not for it at all, which is one of the most crazy things I've ever heard. It's growing on you. Yeah, are you going to watch this year?
Because I've always been conflicted. I never grew up as an Origin watcher, and I don't want to go for New South Wales because they're scum. And Queensland was always, back in the day, full of Broncos support, Broncos players. So I always felt like I was basically cheering on, like the Broncos. I was just, I don't know. I'm sorry for those of you that are listening. Go fuck yourselves. Whatever. I'm just here for my week-to-week league, and it also because the Roosters are so amazing, it would take away lots of my Roosters players. So the Roosters would always lose a couple around Origin time, and you're risking injuries to your main boys. I just think that in all the spotlight and grandiose of the Origin, the main thing that's on the plate is just, I don't know.
Well, I think that's insane because Origin is the best. It's so exciting. It's so fleeting. It comes.
If you could
and it
only
goes.
have Origin, or you could only have a regular season, what would you choose?
Well, you have to go with the regular season because Origin.
So it's more important. It's more important, right?
Yes, no, you're right. It is more important, but it's like the cherry on top of the cupcake. You know what I mean? Like you look at the cupcake. It's the most thing that it's the best thing to look at on the cupcake. You know what I mean? But it's nothing without the cupcake.
The star on the Christmas tree.
It's the star on the Christmas tree. You're exactly right. It's the best casual viewing scenario for like someone who's like not watching rugby league all the time, because it's like the best for the most part, and it's still super competitive. There's so much on the line. It's vicious. It's fast.
Okay, let me correct myself. I do enjoy watching the games because it's some of the highest standard of football we can watch. You've got all the best players on the field, so I enjoy it from a spectacle. I'm just not tribal about it.
Mm-hmm.
That's
okay.
the best one.
And that's all right. We're not. No one's perfect. No one's perfect.
And so, like, I haven't missed an Origin. I'm not missing Origin. I watch Origin. It's not like I'm boycotting it.
Yeah.
I just don't fucking paint my nipples blue and swing my dick off the fucking balcony,
Yeah. Well, I might be doing that this weekend. We are a few of us guys, Mike and I and Harry and a few other fellas. We are going to Magic Round for the full 3 days in Brisbane, which is going to be fun. I tell you what, Ben, have you ever felt this feeling? Have you ever felt that you're a dirty little pig boy who deserves to be punished?
The first bit, not the punish bit.
All right, explain to me a time when you felt like a dirty little pig boy.
When I'm like just laying in my own filth and excrement.
Yeah. And do you ever feel like when you're in that situation where you're being a dirty little pig boy that you should be punished because of it?
No, because that is the punishment in itself.
That's the punishment.
The act of self-piggery is the punishment.
Self-piggery is potentially.
Have you ever indulged in a little bit of self-piggery?
Oh, I definitely have, for sure.
A bit of a feel sorry for you, jerk off at 9 a.m. on a Sunday and just overeat and then sleep because you're fucking miserable. You've had one of them?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Not all the time, but you got to every now and again just have a write-off day, right?
You want, take 2 of them a year.
Yeah, maybe more. All right. Well, it's good to know. I might be a dirty little pig boy this weekend in Magic Round. Listen, another piece of news. It's a little bit old now, but I want to just mention it to you anyways, because it involves you. Dave Fifita confirming he's signing with the Roosters next year for 4 years. First of all, you're a Rooster supporter. What's your reaction to this?
Overrated, but also has his moments. I might be controversial. I think he's a lazy player.
Wow, that's a big call.
I see him, not putting in that extra effort. Not, the people when you're chasing somebody, there's a line break he's getting chased down the field. Everyone's chasing him, and then he's obviously going to score. And you see everyone just sort of like slow down or stop or just watch with their hands on their hips. I feel like count how many times a game he puts his hands on his hips, and that's a good indicator of his work attitude.
I'll have to keep an eye on him this weekend when they play the Newcastle Knights. But have you heard reports that now that the signings happened, Angus Crichton potentially not happy, telling reporters he doesn't want to be sitting behind anyone in the pecking orders? The coach has come out and said that they're unlikely to retain Angus because of the signing. Angus says if a better opportunity comes up, he'll probably look at it. So as a Roosters fan, who would you prefer in your side, Angus Crichton or David Fifita?
Right now, today, Crichton. Longer term Fifita. You got to look at Crichton's arc. He had a dip, and now he's on the up. But I'd say he's on the upper part or peak of the up.
You reckon he's peaking right now? You think it's unsustainable?
Yeah, I think that, and obviously, like, he's a sensitive guy. He brings things. He brings his demons onto the field, and obviously he's in a good place at the moment. But it shows he can swing quite easily and let that affect his. They're professionals. They're professionals, and we're all human, but we're also professionals. And you really gotta fucking just jerk that line off in a very delicate way. You can't just be raw dogging that line.
You gotta jerk the line off in a delicate way. It's true.
Jerk isn't said. Jerk is more of a stroke than a jerk. Stroke the line.
Yeah. What do you think is the optimum level of lube to get the right amount of friction but also leverage?
Little mini. Would you rather way too much lube or no lube? Actually, would you rather have sex with like fucking a waterfall or have sex with a desert?
Okay, so wait, we're talking about sex now. We're talking about masturbation, right? Yeah.
Well, you can correlate. It's the same deal.
Yeah. Okay, so in this situation, there's no way for her to get wet, right? It's desert the whole time.
Dry as a bone, dude.
You gotta go too much waterfall, because otherwise, if it's pure like sandpaper, it's gonna be bad for everybody. At least with the waterfall, there's no damage.
Yeah.
You're not gonna feel it.
But actually, okay, I agree with you. And in the scenario of jerking off, I've rethought my thinking of it, and I've changed my mind. It would be better no lube than too much lube.
Yes, that's the opposite, right? Because if it's just yourself, you can kind of take care of yourself. You know what I mean? I've jerked off with no lube plenty of times. I don't know if you have.
Have you ever jerked off with a feather?
No. Have you?
I don't feel like
you dirty little big boy.
Sensitivity. I haven't, but I don't feel like feathers are doing. I feel like I've lost sensitivity. Like I wouldn't. It depends who was doing it, dude. It's all up here these days. It's all in the mind. The mind controls the cock.
It's all about the build up as well. You know.
Let us know in the comments if in the comments, please. It's all in the mind.
Yeah, it absolutely a fact. But yeah, please get in the comments. Let us know your sex facts. Have you ever masturbated with a feather? Okay, just a very small piece of news.
Feather would you use if you had to jerk off with a feather? What species of bird would you choose?
Good question. I mean, the obvious one that comes to mind is a peacock, because it's long, right? Long feather. It's luxurious. It probably belongs in a sex room anyways, so probably go with that.
What about those quill pens, the ones they use for quills, where it's like fluffy at the end?
Yeah. Could use one of those.
What about like an ibis, like an under the wing ibis feather near like that pink area?
Oh, I don't know. You need to clean it, wouldn't you?
What about a city pigeon feather?
Yeah, I think it would do the job. Like I feel like a lot of birds just have similar feeling feathers, but it's you don't want to like say your partner asking, "Oh, what feather is this bird from?" Like, "Oh, pigeon."
Yeah, you've got a whole collection of feathers. Like, what feather would you like to know? Oh
Yeah, no,
man,
peacock's the way to go.
here's a cruel experiment. You get a bird alive, you completely pluck them, and
Mm.
then you've found like 1,000 species of bird feather samples and inserted them in the paws of the
Oh, yeah, just made a
bird. So
Frankenstein bird.
it's a Frankenstein made up of 1,000 different type of feathers.
I wonder if that would
That'd be
work. Like
so cool.
if you took all the feathers out and put all the feathers of different birds in there, whether it would fly. Probably not.
Would it regrow? Well,
It's
hair. Here's something about hair. You can put hair in your head and it'll grow. And you
really,
can also, yeah, and you can also graft two plants together that are different plants,
yep,
right? And have a
I did know
hybrid.
that.
So, could you? Let us know in the comments.
Let us know in the comments. I had another little quickly piece of news about Kalen Ponga breaching the salary cap, but I don't really care, to be honest. Do you want to tip?
Fucking wank. Yeah, let's tip.
Let's tip.
A lot
All
of
right, so
pooslings. I'm going to be honest. It's a poosling and magic.
yeah, I feel like at the start of the season you would have maybe expected more from these games, but we'll get into them. So what I'm going to do is I'm introduce each game. I'll quickly run through maybe some team changes and then we can talk about it. So the first game on the Friday at 6 p.m. All the games at Suncorp Stadium. We know this to be true. It's Magic Round. It is the Raiders playing the Bulldogs. So for the Raiders, they've got Jordan Rapana back from his knee injury. He's at fullback. And Canterbury have the exact same team that really challenged the Panthers. Only lost by 6 points, I think, in the end last week. Little stat for you: Canberra have won their last 8 straight games against Canterbury going into this game. So,
And you
Benjamin,
like a streak.
I do like a streak. Benjamin, what are your thoughts on this game?
You like a streak. I like a streak break. To me, I'm at the casino. I've seen black, 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 black. I'm like, here we go, red. Here we go, red. And you're just like, bro, black. Clearly, the evidence is right in front of you. And I'm like, do you realize they're starving for a red? Look at these fucking degenerate gamblers scratching, itching around that fucking. They're gnawing at the edge of the table for a red. I'm gonna put my money on black.
You going Canberra?
I've gone black. Yeah. I've gone you.
All right. Well, it's funny because you're doing the Matt and I'm doing the Ben.
Yeah.
So,
safety in numbers.
So Canberra Raiders, obviously they just had their bye after getting their upset come from behind win against Manly, which was great 2 weeks ago. As I said, the Dogs, they pushed Penrith all the way. I think they've been in really good form over the last month or so. I think I'm going to tip the Dogs to win this game, and I have Mike's tips as well. He's also going the Bulldogs, his favorite team. But you're on the Raiders.
Have we got any major injuries? What have we got injury-wise on the Green Boys?
Well, Green Boy's obviously still missing Jamal Fogarty. He's gone for 3 months, but that's I think the only main one. And Dogs are they had a couple of long-term injuries, but I think they're
I feel
stabilized.
like Ricky's the kind of man. Ricky's the kind of man that's going to really explain the importance of the Magic in this round.
yeah. That's a round with steeped in history. All right, so moving on to game 2. Game 2 also on the Friday night. It is the traditional Magic Round game. It's Sea Eagles hosting the Broncos at Suncorp Stadium. So for Manly, as I said earlier, Tom Trbojevic, he's gone for a long time. So Kola is the new fullback, causing a backline shuffle. Also, they get Ola Kawatu back from suspension. And for Brisbane, Billy Walters has, I think, a wrist injury. So Tyson Smoothie's the hooker. They get Jock Madden in at halfback. He's recovered from pec injury. He's the replacement for Adam Reynolds these days. Now, I also say generally whenever these teams meet at Magic Round, it's a landslide one way or the other. Like usually one of these teams smashes the other. And I think usually Broncos win, but what are your thoughts? Is this an easy Broncos for you, or do Manly stand a chance?
So just run me through the last couple of weeks. The Broncos have lost 2 in a row. Manly, what do we got? Forgotten.
Manly,
Man.
I think they've lost a couple in a row as well.
I'm going to go Brisbane.
Yep, I'm with you, and so is Mike. At home, I think generally this season been in better form. The loss of Trebojevic, I think, is a bit of a blow, but I don't count out the Manly Sea Eagles, I don't think. So that's it for the Friday. Moving on to game number 3. It is the first game on Saturday at 3 p.m. It is the Titans, the mighty Gold Coast Titans, taking on the Newcastle Knights. So for the Titans, I'll quickly talk about the Knights first, actually, because Titans are a whole kettle of fish. Gamble's out, injured, so Cogger comes in, and Jacob Saifidi replaces his brother, Daniel Saifidi, who's suspended. But for the Titans, so they have basically no halves left. They're all injured. Foran's injured, Brimson's injured, Jaden Campbell's already out, Tanner Boyd's already out. So that leaves them with, I would say on paper, one of the funniest halves pairings of all time. You've got hooker Sam Verrills at 7 and hooker / forward Chris Randall at 6.
Okay.
In 18th man, there's Thomas Weaver, who's a very young half. He played, I think, for New South Wales under 20s. He's an 18. I might expect him to come in because someone has to kick the ball, right? Someone has to kick the ball at some point. Also, they've lost Sammy and Harley Smith-Shields. So Khan Pereira and Shop come in.
What do you mean they have to kick at some point? They've got to kick off and they've got to do a dropout. That's all they'll need.
Oh, I see. Yeah, they're just going to keep conceding tries. Is that what you're saying? How dare you?
I milked. I think I got my my little Titans point extraction.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna take my money while I'm ahead, and I'm gonna cash out and tip the red and blue boys.
Yeah, I think that is a very sane thing to do. Mike is also taking the Knights here. I do note that checking the stats on these two teams, the last 12 times these two teams have played each other, the home side has won every single time. And if for this particular match, that technically the home team is the Titans, but they're not at home. So I don't know what that. I don't know if that's doesn't count.
I'm going red.
Which is Knights?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I would love to tip the Titans if they just had actual halves in their halves. I don't know how they win with this Frankenstein spine.
So they've basically got like a half of a half of a half. So they've got an eighth.
They have an eighth. That's what they have. They got 2 eighths. So I'm going to go with the Knights. I'll say Knights by 10 points, but it's going to be a miracle win if the Titans do win. I'm happy to give up a tip if they win, honestly, and as I do every single week. Okay, going for number 4. This is probably the most anticipated match of the weekend, 5:30 on the Saturday. It is the Cronulla Sharks, top of the table, against the Roosters, who have scored, I think, 138 points in 3 weeks.
Where are my boys sitting at the moment? Where are we? We're in 5th. Nice.
Yeah, you're climbing. But so for the Cronulla Sharks, they get Nico Hines back after he missed last week's win in Melbourne. But for the Roosters, Joseph Manu is out, so they got Palga at centre.
What was Hines' issue? What was his deal anyway?
I think he had a calf issue. Yeah, so they're just being resting him.
Resting him for this week.
Maybe. And also the cheese is back. Apparently he had a calf injury
No,
as well.
I'm doing so many dad jokes today. He's like, I got a calf issue. And then he like rocks up to the game with like a baby cow. He's like, yeah, I'll look after this calf.
That's hilarious, dude. That's I'm not laughing, but it's so funny that I can't bring myself to laugh. I feel like I would die.
It's so bad that it is funny. There's a level in comedy, there's a genre of comedy that's so bad that it's funny. What you don't want to be is only marginally better than bad. That's the worst.
Yeah, that's right.
If you're bad enough that people will still laugh, you're good.
Yeah, there's a point where you bomb so hard, like in stand-up comedy, that it is really funny. And that's the same sort of joy that people get out of watching really bad movies.
That's the whole business plan of what was it, Mega Shark or some shit.
Yeah, Sharknado. Or the Meg.
How many did they make? At least 2 or 3.
I'm not sure. I didn't see any of them. Did you?
No. Oh
yeah.
The Meg falls into that category.
Yeah, that's a great movie. Jason Statham just fighting sharks and banging hot Korean women.
I hate Jason Statham as an actor.
What?
Person.
Why do you hate Jason Statham?
Maybe he's not a good actor.
No, he's not. That's not what he's there for. He's an action star.
He should be a stuntman.
I don't even think he probably is qualified to do that. He's just a tough guy with a British accent. That's his role. He's got a gravelly voice and he looks mean.
Maybe I don't like him because we look similar.
Yeah, you look just like Jason Statham, man. Yeah.
a scrawnier, shorter Jason Statham. Oh, he's not that tall, is he? Though?
I don't think so. But Sharks and Roosters, who are you tipping?
I'm going my boys.
You going the boys? You got a feeling they're going
the boys?
Sharks top of the table, dude.
No, I don't have a great feeling about it, but I'll enjoy this one more if I tip my boys.
Yeah. So our host who's absent, he's also tipping the Roosters. As I said earlier, it's got to be the hottest match of the weekend. It's really hard to split these teams. Sharks have been good all year, although last week is probably the best team that they beat without Hines, which that definitely says something. Really hard to split him. But I'm going to go with my gut on this one.
You're going to go with Sharks, aren't you?
And my gut says the Chooks. Yeah. I think we agree on. Oh no, you said Raiders for the first match, but yeah, I don't know. The Roosters, they've been looking good. They look hot. When you look at their team on paper, it's dangerous. Yeah. All right. Well, moving on. Game number 5. So this is
it's a good time to be. It's a good time to be a Rooster boy.
It certainly is. Game number 5, 7:45 on the Saturday. It is the Rabbitohs playing the Cowboys. Now, this is a slinger of poo to end the Saturday. You know, when they made the schedule at the start of the year, they probably thought this one was going to be a good one. But South
There's a
Sydney,
world where it is a good one.
There is a world. Yeah, not this one. South Sydney get Alex Johnston back from a hamstring injury. Also, Jacob Gagai comes back. There's a backline reshuffle. Cowboys, they get Taulagi and McLean, both back from injury. Now, the Bunnies have to win eventually, Ben. Is it this week?
You tell me what you think. I'm going to go just run my formula.
Okay, I think the Rabbitohs have only won one game this year. It was against the Dogs. I'm thinking back in round 3 off the top of my dome. The Cows are also very down on confidence and on form. Like they were down, was it 20-0 against the Titans last week? Shouldn't have been in that position. There's too much strike.
Well, they're both running at 5 losses straight.
Yeah, so it's not good positions for either of these teams. I am going to go with I would argue, slightly safer pick in the Cowboys, just due to all the players that are missing for the Rabbitohs. But I mean, if the Rabbitohs win, I'll be happy for them. I'm going with the Cowboys. Mike's going with the Cowboys. What about you? Come on, Ben. Content.
Yeah. Fuck them. I'm talking to you.
Okay.
Can you come back to me? Can we do this one at the end? Let me mull it over.
Okay.
Come
All
back
right.
to me.
Have a think about it. All right. We're going to move on. So now we're moving over to the Sunday, Magic Round Sunday. First game is at 1:50 p.m. kickoff. The Warriors, who are in fucking all sorts, taking on the Panthers. As I said earlier, Cleary is out for the Panthers, so they've got Jack Cole starting in his position. Tungo comes back from suspension. For New Zealand, though, they're missing Sean Johnson, injured. Tuivasa-Sheck out. Lussick injured as well. So they got Taupiki in at fullback. Nickel Klukstad goes to 5'8". Egan Hooker. Stat-wise, Panthers have won 8 straight games against New Zealand. I see that continuing. I think the loss of Cleary, that's a loss. But I would say the loss of Sean Johnson for the Warriors is a bigger loss because the Panthers can cover, right, for Cleary, even though he's so good. But SJ, I think, is crucial to the Warriors, and they're in bad form. Panthers win. Mike agrees.
What do we got? So we got black boys versus black boys. I'm going to go for the black boys.
I'm guessing you're going for the Panthers.
Yeah, going for the cat.
Yeah, no doubt. Let's not spend too much more time on that one. I hope the Warriors come out of their form slump at some point.
Nice.
Next game on the Sunday, 4:05 p.m. It is the Melbourne Storm and the Parramatta Eels. This is the Rugby League History Cup. He loves his Eels and he hates the Storm. Melbourne, they get Xavier Coates back from injury, only change. And Parramatta, still no Mitch Moses, who is battling to return before State of Origin. Talk that if he plays at least one game, he'll get picked. I don't know about that. What are your thoughts on this one? Do the Eels stand a chance?
I'm never tipping them again. They fucked me.
Your beloved Eels
too many times.
Yeah, Storm. I mean, this is a safe.
And
bet.
Storm have a good record at that stadium. They got winning vibes at that stadium.
Yes. Well known that they generally win at Suncorp. I'm going Storm. Mike's going Storm. Don't need to think too hard about this one either, really. All right, the final game of Magic Round. This potentially is we might see some magic in this game. So Tigers and the Dolphins at 6:25 p.m. Sunday. West Tigers, though, they've lost Isaiah Papali'i, suspended, and John Bateman is injured, and Starford Toa is suspended. So not good for them. Also, not doing well on the ladder. But for the Dolphins, who are going fantastic this year, Try Fuller is probably unlucky to drop out because the hammer is back from injury at fullback. They've got Max Plath out concussed, so Kenny Bromwich is
What's
the
his
lock.
first name?
Who?
Fuller?
Trey Fuller.
Oh, I thought you said try.
It's spelled Trai. So it could be Trey, could be Try. Anyways, he's been really good.
If it is try,
if it is Try, absolutely. Okay, now are you going with a safe bet here? It's Magic Round. Like, there's going to be some upsets. Do the Tigers stand a chance here?
No.
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 You're not feeling.
They're disappointing me. They're disappointing me. They disappointed me last week. They fucked my tip. I tipped them. They let me down. Fuck them.
Okay. All right. It's a vengeance tip for you, really.
Yeah. No, I can see. Couldn't you see Benji's not? I don't think Benji's got what it takes, man.
Well, he's arguably inherited the worst team in the league, so let him cook is what I say. But it's generally not it doesn't matter who's coaching the Tigers; they're generally bad. I think longest finals drought of any team. So
no sane man can tip this team. No, sorry, they had a little right at the beginning and then. Poopy.
Yeah, Finns, they're in great form. Mike's going the Dolphins. I'm also going the Dolphins. I think either we see some magic, like a miracle Tigers win, or what I think is the more likely scenario is the Dolphins put on some fucking points. I'll say Dolphins win by like 24 points in this game.
When you look through these games, where do you see most of the magic being sprinkled this week?
If I were to pick an upset, I think the first game, Raiders Bulldogs, that's a big one. I think Raiders definitely have a good chance in that one. Apart from that, I mean, Sharks Roosters could go either way, so who's to say? Maybe the Rabbitohs. Maybe the Bunnies finally get a win on Magic Round.
Yeah, I'm thinking that bun.
Could be a bun. Yeah, sprinkle your magic responsibly. It's time for comments. And we actually got a lot of comments on last week's episode. So, and by the way, guys, anyone who's listening, if you leave a comment, we'll read it out. And it doesn't matter how heinous it is.
Yeah. Would you be open to me reading comments this week?
Okay, but you need to read them with gusto. There's
Yes.
one particular comment which rhymes, which I expect you to give it justice.
Yeah, all right. I'll figure it out when I get there. William Pearson writes, Sharks don't have a good record in Melbourne.
Listen, William, I'm sorry, but it's slightly better now.
Yep. Fair enough at the time. A secondary follow-up comment also by Sir William. Storm will win.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Oh, he always says that. And he's usually right.
And just a little sub-comment on that. One Harry W. etc. has gone on to say, big if true.
Big if true.
Thank you for your contribution. And then Mike said, I didn't even realise that Melbourne was still in the comp. Thank you for your contribution, Mike. Well done.
Yeah, come back next week.
All right. Eric Armadillo. Good animal.
Epic.
Solid
Epic.
animal.
By the way, Epic Armadillo, I believe, first-time commenter. So thanks for being here.
Thank you for being here. Eric, Epic, I'm sure his name's Eric. Eric writes, if you don't know who to tip for a match, I recommend choosing the team that has the cooler logo. And I would agree. I'd say it's an astute observation you've made there, Epic. Well done. Feel free to contribute in the future. Also,
I don't know.
Yeah.
Like this week, I feel like the match which is really tough to tip is the Roosters Sharks. So who has the cooler logo out of them two? I don't know.
Well, Sharks have a cooler logo, but Roosters have a cooler animal.
I would argue it's the other way around. I think the Sharks are a cooler animal, but
Sharks are sort of like Sharks are too go-to,
I see. You say it's too run of the mill. It's too
yeah.
cool.
It's the lion, It's the lion of the ocean.
Yeah,
all right.
It's the lion of the ocean.
You want to play the lion card? All right, Mr. Big Man with your fucking cobra tattoos and bloody lion and cross.
I get
All
you.
right, anyway. Thank you, Epic. Moving on, rugby league history, long-time writer, not first-time commenter, but first-time mint.
First in my heart. What do you say?
Dear Mike, is your hatred of Parramatta due to the fact they beat the Gold Coast in the 2011 Spoon Bowl game, therefore commending the GC to the wooden spoon? That's fucking brutal,
Well, it's too bad Mike's not here to spill his facts. He commented, he replied, but saying that's because they're how consistently inconsistent they are. But I think he just has hate in his heart, Mike.
Yeah, well, he's got a point. We did say earlier tonight, hate in the heart.
Hate in the heart.
God, there's trauma of that child.
There's a comment here from someone you might know.
Jeff 6895 writes, oh God. Sometimes I watch his podcast and cannot believe I supported Mike through 6 years of university. Are there any other disgruntled parents watching this episode that would seriously consider a child swap? Mike, you gotta stop your dad from commenting on this, mate. You gotta just, you know. Anyway,
Yeah. Well,
nothing to add to that.
that's some pretty poor taste because Mike's dad is no longer with us. So Ben, you should
And
probably apologize.
and he's at a funeral. That's such a dog day.
Yeah, yeah.
Fuck you.
But thanks Jeff for commenting. There was a long time there where you weren't commenting, but good to have you back.
Yeah, no. You can't be angry forever. And then moving on, history of football writes, Melbourne are like a turd that won't flush down the toilet. Yep, there's 16 turds actually that won't flush down the toilet.
Now this is the one I want you to put some gusto, some flair, some razzle dazzle into this comment.
I know who made this comment, dude.
You know this guy?
And Mike met him too. He's actually an American friend, and he listens to us every week.
Oh, hell yeah. Well, thank you, Mr. Cunningham, 8378. What do you say?
Colin is his first name. Let me just quickly glance. Tell everyone a joke while I just read over this first.
Why do they put fences around graveyards? Pause for you to think about it. It's because people are dying to get in. There's my joke.
All right. I can't read anyway. Maddie and Mikey and little Ben with the dong, strapped in his leather, let him sing us a song. With a long tickle of feather from a cap off his cock, sing it to us quick before we take you off the clock.
Thank you for your comment. That's good content. Come back.
What about my delivery? Not bad for a first deliver.
Yeah, it was good. That was nice. Yeah.
A little soft on the clock. You see what I did there?
Yeah.
Okay. And oh my God, one comment, Colin. Fuck me. Critique he's really into his classic literature at the moment.
Okay.
Critique is the only true form of autobiography left. Oscar Wilde. Well,
thank you for your quote.
Done, mate.
Those are the comments. There were tons of comments, and yeah, leave a comment next week because we'll read that shit out.
No, we're gonna have a limit once we start breaching 20, 30 comments.
At a certain point, we'll have to pick out the best ones, but we're not quite there yet.
And if you don't choose your comment, then it wasn't good enough, and therefore, by fact, neither are you probably good enough.
That's right. Yeah. Just honestly, just die.
Well, don't die, but give up living.
Benjamin, do you have a hypothetical for us today?
I'm just scratching for them now.
You're scratching around?
Okay. Yeah, I found him. Oh wait, no, that's a premise for a book that I was thinking about writing. It's called A Healthy Relationship with Competition, a self-reflective guide for the overly competitive person and non-competitive person. Such a weird book title. Must have been intoxicated at the time. The contents: tackling our deepest insecurities. What drives us? Where does it come from? Where are we going?
Let's talk about this.
My first line of the book is, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a psychiatrist, I'm not a psychologist, biologist, engineer, I'm not even an author.
That's actually pretty good.
Do you reckon? Thank you.
Yeah, I'm not even an author is kind of funny. That's very true though. You gonna write a book?
I don't think I say I'm gonna do a lot of things. I couldn't do whatever I want. I just gotta do something.
So did you find these hypotheticals? Otherwise, I have one.
Give me your one. Let me appreciate yours, and then I'll deal with this clusterfuck afterwards.
Okay. All right. My hypothetical. I have one. It's magic round themed, right?
Yeah.
Let's just say, for example, you found a magic lamp and you rubbed it, a genie came out, and the genie would grant you one wish. And you can't wish for more wishes or more genies or more lamps, right? No wish multiplication tactics. What would you wish for?
Relating to the rugby league.
No, in life. You found a magic lamp. You get to wish for anything.
Okay. I would wish for the ability to control time.
Oh, control time, like stop time, fast forward, rewind.
Stop time, fast forward, rewind, replay. Yeah, I would have a full. Basically, I would essentially be elevating into the fourth dimension.
Yeah. So, what's going to be the practical use for that? Like, what are you hoping to do? Are you going to stop time so you can touch boobs?
Just keep coming over and over.
Yeah. If you come and then reverse time, does it go back into your penis? Come back in?
Yeah. Does it float back in, or does it regen a new?
Yeah. Or do you everything else around you rewind, but you stay the same? You keep aging.
We can't perceive what happens in the fourth dimension because we have to be fifth dimensional to observe the fourth dimension. I don't know. If you're a physicist, let us know in the comments.
Yeah, let us know what you'd wish for. I thought about this a little bit today when I came up with the question, what would I wish for? Because I did think about that, like superpowers, right? Do I want to be able to go invisible or fly or teleport anywhere in the world whenever I want? That's a pretty good one. Or do I just want to remain a normal person? Because I feel like if I were to give myself superpowers, I would develop some sort of superhero type complex. Like I don't know, I feel like I wouldn't be able to relate to the regular man. But then I thought to myself, do I just want to give myself like $100 billion and just set myself and all of my loved ones and friends up for life so we never have to work? It sounds boring. I might go with just that.
You want to wish for a nice big hog.
Like a nice pig so you can sell on the market. Take that pig to market, get a nice ransom for it.
Like a 14-inch monster.
I see. Well, I mean, that's if you get a massive hog, right? You're at that point, sure, you have got to say the world's greatest hog, but there are so many women you are not going to have to be able to have sex with because their vaginas are too small.
Also, the ones that you are either going to be behemoths or no tread on that tile.
Exactly. I don't think you do. I feel like it's something that there's a point where big is too big. I feel you want pretty much at the limit of what everyone can take.
Well, you want an extra like 30%, and you want an extra 30%. So your semi represents a normal erection.
Still good value.
Yeah, your semi represents a good value. That's right. Value proposition.
Like, like a James Tedesco, underwhelming performance is still a good game, right? That's what you're looking for in a cock. I think I might still take the $100 billion. All right, tell you what. I
thought of one of my hypotheticals.
Okay, all right, let's do one.
Would you rather be in a long-term relationship, and in both cases you can't break up? Would you rather have a long-term relationship where you love your partner but they don't love you, or they love you but you just don't love them?
Ooh, that's a hard one. That's a good one.
Yeah, I've been saving that one all week.
Yeah, that is a good one. That is tough. Either I love them and they don't love me, or they love me and I don't love them.
And I know my answer already, so I'll go. Can help you.
You go.
Choose that they love me, but I don't love them. I just don't have the capacity, and it sucks not feeling loved. That's why.
Yeah, no, it's true. Loving someone and them not reciprocating it at all, that would be, I feel like, a little bit more uncomfortable than the other way around. Yeah, I don't know. It's a really tough one. I think I'm with you. I think I agree. I think I'd go the same way, but it would be both because if you were the person who didn't love them but they loved you, you'd be in a situation where you're like, fuck, I wish I could just leave. I wish I could get out of here. I don't want this person to love me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's something like, this might be really psychopathic. There's something kind of nice about it.
Yeah, something a little bit narcissistic maybe about it. Yeah, I agree.
Narcissistic.
It's nice to be loved. It's loved. It's great to be admired. Well, I tell you what, on that lovely dark note, would you like to take us out? Actually, no, wait. We're gonna do a thumbnail. And look at me. I should know better.
So am I just gonna have to forget about my other hypothetical or save it for next week?
Save it. This episode's already gone long. All right, let's do a thumb. Let's do a thumb.
The thummy.
I'm just gonna shoot my guns.
Can we like do something where our fingers touch? Where I put my finger here and like you put your finger and then like, or if we kiss, like I go.
I don't know. I don't know if we'll get views if we're on the thumbnail. All right. Well, sure enough. Yeah. Let's both go on the side and let's just be kiss, and maybe I'll put Jason Statham in the middle of us.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Ready?
Oh,
I think that's good, right?
Kiss.
Yeah. Well, did you kiss?
Oh yeah. No, I'm tongued. I'm a tonguer.
Okay. All right. All right. Well, take us out.
All righty. That's been Matt. Ben has been Ben. Mike can go fuck himself because he's not here. And like, subscribe, but also don't subscribe. Suggest this to your friends and family, but definitely don't suggest this to your friends and family.
Not to your family.
If you're trying to do things in your life to make yourself better, maybe think about turning the other way, you know?
Yeah, get worse.
Bad opportunity is still an opportunity, so go down that route. If you see a dark hole, go deeper.
Growth is unhealthy. Spiral.
Yes, spiral. There's nothing like a strong downwards trajectory.
Yeah, nothing is your fault. It's everyone else's fault. It's the world's fault. You're perfect. You're doing nothing wrong. You're the victim.
Yes, you are victims, and you need to play that card. And anything that happens to you in life is everybody else's fault. You've done nothing wrong.
That's right. You're perfect.
Every negative trait that you admittedly that you have, not negative, actually helping you in ways you don't know. So
yeah, everyone else is wrong.
Yeah, so the negativity, the yelling, the disrespect and stuff, just at this point you really need to set it on fire, amplify it, and keep projecting that hate in your heart, and maybe one day you can be a Mike too. And we're all human, but we're also professionals, and you really gotta just jerk that line off in a very delicate way. You can't just be raw dogging that line.